What is going on, everybody? John Ramdeen here in the FN studios alongside my friend and broadcast partner, kickboxing ambassador crew Alin Halmagean. And crew, coming up on Saturday night, Glory 17 goes down at the Los Angeles Forum in California. The first time Glory is going into the pay-per-view market. In the main event, a heavyweight rematch. Your fellow countryman, Daniel Ghita, taking on perhaps the future of the heavyweight division in Rico, Vieira. You look at the first fight, you had to kind of conserve your energy competing in the tournament. Do you anticipate anything different in this next fight, considering they didn't have to fight a previous fight?
Obviously, you know, now they know they're going to face each other, so they're both preparing to face each other. Daniel Ghita, the crafty veteran, the man that has power, knockout power, the man that has a lot of technique, a lot of experience, versus the young man of Rico Verhoeven. This guy is the future of the heavyweight division. We're going to see this guy fight for the next 10, 15 years. You know, he is the Glory Tournament winner. It's been great for the last 2 years. Great wins against top competition. He beat Gokhan Saki. He has a win over Daniel Ghita in Chicago. And this fight is going to be the best heavyweight fight of this year in kickboxing, in the kickboxing world.
Daniel Ghita starts very, very quickly. A lot of first-round stoppages for Daniel Ghita. We know he's got that powerful left hook as well as the low kicks. Do you think that's going to be a factor in this main event? If
you follow Daniel Ghita's career, every time when he starts hard, strong, he has great success. So it's going to be interesting to see his strategy for this fight. Rico Verhoeven is the guy that's going to win if the fight moves to the later rounds. This is what we saw in the past. So intriguing fight. Great fight, great match, the best heavyweight kickboxing match this year.
I got to talk about this welterweight title fight. Marc Bont, the new champion, taking on one of our favorite fighters in the Glory promotion, Bazooka Joe Valtellina. Doesn't have the experience of Bont, but he brings it. He's always exciting. He always looks for the finish. You look at that fight with Nicky Holtzkin, it seemed that he rushed things at the end where he got knocked out. Do you anticipate any different strategy for Bazooka Joe going into this fight?
Bazooka Joe Valtellina is the most rising star in the kickboxing world. For the last 2 years, his wins in Glory. You know, his coach, longtime coach, Crew Paul Minhas from here, from Toronto, Ontario, a good friend of mine on ours. You know, prepared this man from a young age, and he is the future of that division. And we're going to find out Saturday night if he's the president as well. I believe so. But Marc Bont, don't count him out. His last fight against Carpathian looked good. He had 3 strong rounds in that fight, and he's coming for the title. My money will be, of course, we are biased. I'm a Canadian, and you are, and I'm biased. I'm going to believe that Joe is going to have the upper hand, but it's going to be an intriguing fight. Great matchup again.
We've got to talk about the middleweight tournament. Joe Schilling in action, Melvin Manhoff, Philip Verlinden, as well as another Toronto-based fighter, Simon Marcus. And for years I've been told, you know, Simon Marcus, yes, one of the most talented fighters to come out of Canada, but how does his style match up against the fighters in Glory? Because this is not a Thai boxing match. There's no clinch, no elbows.
Obviously, when we talk about Simon Marcus, we have to mention his coach, Ajahn Sushat, you know, from here, from Toronto, a man that pioneered the sport in Canada. And Simon Marcus, again, a man that's been in a circuit for a few years. Great wins against Joe Schilling twice. He also beat Artem Levin. A man that fought a lot in Thai boxing, traditional Muay Thai, where clinch was allowed, elbows were allowed. These rules are different for him, but I'm very confident that he's going to do good in the tournament. If we talk about the tournament, we have to talk about the first matchup. Melvin Manhoff, you know, a legend in the sport, in my opinion, the #1 seed in this to win the whole tournament, fighting the #2 seed in the tournament in Verlinden. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in that fight. This tournament is gonna be a headache for any bookie because it's gonna be hard. Tournaments always are hard to predict because everything can happen. You know, in the fights, the first fight you can get injured. It might be hard for you to fight in the next fight, but it's a great thing for kickboxing to happen here in North America and to have the chance to watch the prelim on Spike and Fight Network here in Canada, and then the pay-per-view is going to be great.
You talk about the main event on the televised portion, which you can see live right here on Fight Network. Gerald Miller taking on one of the greatest combatants in all of combat sports, the man they call Crow Cop, Mirko Filipovic. This is a rematch. What do you anticipate from the matchup between the Croatian and the American? Is it going to be the same as the first fight? Because I know a lot of people weren't jazzed about that first matchup.
You know, the first matchup was a close fight decision by Krokop, but Jarrell Miller is a good boxer. He's been fighting in boxing. He's been acting in boxing, active, and he's asking for the rematch. He wants it. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, as a you know, passionate mixed martial arts and kickboxing fan for so many years, I'm going to be intrigued to see Krokop, and I want to see his kicks again, his left kick, and it's going to be boxer versus kicker. It's going to be youth versus a veteran. Very, very, very good fight again. Outstanding matchup.
Andy Risti, in my opinion, one of the best fighters of 2013, took out Robin van Roosmalen, and one of the greatest fighters, I think, in kickboxing history, in Georgia Petrosian. Had his fight with David Curia, was looking good, but ended up getting stopped. This fight with Kai Hallenbach, do you expect to see the Andy Risti of 2013?
You know what? This fight is, again, a fighter in Kai Hallenbach that moves forward a lot. Andy Risti is a technician, very, 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 very skilled striker. And you're going to see, you know, a clash between a guy that's coming forward, pushing, versus a technician in Andy Risti. And it's going to be a question of, can Kai Hallenbach push forward for 3 rounds, or Andy Risti is going to catch him with a crazy technique and finish the fight.
All the action goes down in Los Angeles at the Forum on Saturday night. And don't forget, you can catch the prelims live right here on Fight Network.